Hello, everybody. Welcome to perFORM Music Incubator's question and answer time. My name is Muthoni Drummer Queen from perFORM Music Incubator, and with me are three amazing alums from the program. To my left is Miss Disi. Disi is from the publicity program. To my direct right is Roba. Roba is from the event production program. And to my extreme right is Chege from the artist management program. So basically, what we're doing in this session is we're taking questions that you've sent to us, and some of the questions will be answered by myself, and some of the questions will be answered by this wonderful panel of humans. If you're ready, we're ready. Let's get into it. So the first question is, what exactly is the perFORM program and who is it designed for? So perFORM Music Incubator is a training program that is designed to skill the music industry in Africa. And what we mean by that is people who are wanting to work in the music business. That is, if you want to be an artist manager, if you want to be in artist and music promotion at large, which we call publicity, if you want to be in music event production, if you're an artist of any kind, a producer, a songwriter, an instrumentalist, if you are a sound engineer or if you're a light engineer, perFORM Music Incubator is for you. What we do is we've developed training, and that training is offered in several ways. There's classwork, so where you really get into the substance and the entrepreneurial parts of each, sort of program. Then you have the creative side. So you have the creative workshops, whether it's songwriting or music production. You also spend some weeks doing rehearsals so that you can be ready. At the end of each training program, there is a concert. And so you get ready for that concert, and everybody works together collaboratively on that concert. So everybody in the cohort, the engineers, the managers, the publicists, the event producers, and the artists, you work together to develop your showcase at the end of the project. Okay, so that's about perFORM. Do you guys concur? Does that sound like the program you did?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. There's a question here. What kind of hands-on projects or real-life scenarios do participants work on? So I'm going to start with you, Chege. Maybe you can just give your experience of some real-life stuff that you actually did at perFORM.
For the first cohort, of when we got in for cohort one of the things that we really learned is how to pitch. Like for a creative project, how can you pitch for you to get resources to actually now get to do it, which was really cool. Then now we got to the second cohort, which we did in 2023, a bit intense, but it was really fun. So we got to actually do now the work. If we're working on release, we coordinate from producer, get the masters, get feedback before release, work on the whole project from pre-promo, during, after. So there was a music release, music videos, and all of that. And also now planning the final showcase where, as a talent manager, came in to work on pitch decks and actually get to like source for fans and have hands-on experience while doing it.
Very cool. Roba, maybe you could share from an event producer some real-life things.
Yeah. From the first cohort, we did what we call the perFORM Showcase. Such a beautiful production. You can just search perFORM Showcase online. And it was wonderful after all those weeks in classes just to be put to be like, now produce an event. And now when we came now for the perFORM 2.0, among the first thing we did after the artists had their music, we had to do like a networking event where we brought in different industry experts to just give an insight for the event, of which it was a real life and for my first time to experience such a gig. And also now we were attached to different gigs, brands that are around, where not only do you have assignments, but they have real life outcomes. So whatever you do in class, the final product has a real life outcome. And I think.
Yeah. I remember you guys planned, there were artists, there were listening parties.
Yes.
There were some club activations. You had to find the clubs, talk to the club owners.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
yes,
you
yes.
guys did quite a lot of hands-on real life things.
Real life things,
Yeah.
yeah. With real life outcomes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Disi, from a publicity perspective, maybe
Yeah.
you can tell us some real life outcomes or some
Okay.
real hands-on things that you did for real, for real.
Yeah. So I think as a publicist, I'll speak more on the second cohort because that's where it was very hands-on and very intense. And as a publicist, the first thing that we were part of was the crafting the brand strategies for the artists. That took months. It was back and forth. The artists would get angry, the teams would get upset. But yeah, it was a very important activity. And then now, after we got this right, and also like so where to place our artists and where they'd fit best, we started doing the pitching for media runs. So especially for the new projects that we were dropping, and also just for the existing catalogs that the artists had. And also now for the things that the events planners were doing, like the club appearances and the listening parties, what we did a lot for that was coming up with the the guest lists, because that's a very important part also for showbiz. So coming up with the guest lists and like sending out the invites to people, coming up with the communication strategies for all this work. Yeah. So as a publicist, our hands were very full.
Yeah.
With a lot of real life work.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say because in the second phase of perform, I sat in as an artist, and I really confirm with you, building those brand strategies was one of the hardest pieces of work we'd ever done. As an artist, that's a thing that I thought I knew what a brand strat was. And then it turns out, in fact, I didn't know what a brand strat was. And there was lots of breakdowns internally for like, oh my God, what does this actually mean? And then actually making the work, we ended up making singles collaboratively. So learning to collaborate with artists and building something that we really like.
Yeah.
Then shooting those videos. And then working on the EPs, working on the artwork. So those were some real tangible, outcomes. The EPKs, we also worked quite closely with the publicists on developing the EPKs and like, okay, this is my true story and this is what should go on to the EPK.
Yeah.
So that was really intense. So those are some real life outcomes that you can expect from joining the program. And that's one of the things that really distinguishes the perFORM Music Incubator program. The fact that you do real things and those real things are going to sit in market. It's not like it's not theory. It's not theory. Yeah. If you make a song, that's a real song and that's it. It's on the internet forever and ever. So if you
like, I can actually link something that I did that's on the internet and say this is something we were part of.
Exactly.
And you can monitor how it's going as the time goes.
Forever.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
really
real
cool.
thing. Who qualifies to apply and what's the ideal profile for a participant? So I'll take that question, but I think you guys can like contribute. perFORM is really great for somebody who's already started doing something. You already have a basic skill set. So let's say you're already working with your friend or, kind of part of a promotion team for a musician or an event. If you already have a basic skill set, it will really help you to come to perFORM to now really polish up your skills and level up. And it's going to make the learning easier, because there are parts of perFORM where even if you already know some things, you're really going to float like, wow, like when you're really acquiring the real skill set. Unlearning, I think that's the thing, right? So when you're unlearning the thing that you thought you knew and now acquiring the right skill set. So it really helps if you have like a baseline understanding of your area. I don't know if you guys, what do you guys think?
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to join, you need to have like something that you're already doing. It's not like you have a passion for it and now you're just seated. So it's like an ongoing process. And then now when you learn the thing, then you can also now implement with, if you're an artist manager, the artist that you're managing, your boy. So now you can implement what you're learning. And I also now get to see like the real life outcomes.
And also to add, performers are very supportive community. So if already you have something going on, in case you have questions or you need help or you need just people to tell you, okay, you can do this differently. It's best like you have something, therefore where you just learn and take the data. Again, real life outcomes.
Yeah. Disi, you want to say something? Or
I agree with
Gucci?
them,
Yeah.
the two. And then also, I just think if you already have something you're doing for yourself, then it's nice that you come and now learn how to do it better.
Exactly.
But then if you're not doing anything, you'll come and you might feel lost because of the intensity of the work.
Yeah, a bit
you'll be like,
overwhelmed,
what's happening here? Yeah,
Exactly.
but already if you have some experience, then it'll be easier for you to like now get systems to your work. And yeah, this is how I can do my work as a pro.
Nice. Yeah. Which is why we often say at perFORM that actually we are a skilling program, but we're actually an upskilling program. So we take your baseline and we get it to the next level. Yeah. Awesome. Who are the trainers and what's their experience in the music industry? So I'm going to take that and then I'm going to let everybody kind of chip in, and maybe you can think around who was a really impactful trainer for you, right? So from the program side, we always get industry practitioners. It's people who are in the industry, who are already doing that thing. They have a real body of work that they have produced or they've developed, a real skill set that they have. They are often have a training background as well. Because, it's one thing to know a thing, but it's another thing to be a teacher of a thing that you know. Yeah. So we find people who really know their thing and they also know how to teach that thing that they know. It's people who have experience and who have track record, and you can see that the thing they're teaching you is something that they actually implement in their day-to-day learning. Mm. So I don't know if you guys want to sort of chime in on trainer that you felt was particularly impactful. Maybe we'll start with Miss Disi. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there were a couple that were impactful, but I like the fact that you perFORM gets trainers that are actually in the industry and know what they're doing and have years of experience. Yeah. So, like, for me as a publicist, it was an honor to be in Anyiko Walker's class. Yeah, being taught with an international star like that was crazy. Yeah. Just getting to interact with her, ask her questions. You see someone on the internet, if you ask them a question on the internet, it's different if you interact with them. Exactly. So that was so really Anyiko cool. Walker for sure. Yeah. And also we had a facilitator called Paul
Kuru.
Yeah, he walked with us through some muddy days.
Tough days.
Yes. I remember he did some very tough work on the brand strategy work for all of us. Yeah. And also Nyambura. Yeah, and I think I also really like Nyambura because we even became friends after, and you can even talk to her for advice on things you're working on right now.
She's really a brand guru.
Yes, exactly.
Nyambura.
Yeah.
Roba.
Yeah. Of course, our events HOD Justine and event producer, a one of one. Totally, it was very humbling for me and for all of us to be in her class. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that she was there to teach us, always ready to just talk with us, ask us what are we doing, very interested to learn, to see if there's progress, and best HOD ever, I think. Best teacher.
Hey. Justine. Shout out Justine from Good Times Africa. The guys produced blankets. Yeah. And you guys actually worked together with Justine for almost a year after the program.
Yeah, after the program, yes, we were attached to Blankets and Dwight. Again, best festival ever. It's like you're just working and living your dreams at the same time. And all these thanks to perFORM Music Incubator.
Cool. Yeah. Nice. Chege?
My key highlight was Ego, because I had known her even before the program, so I had seen her work out there.
Right.
And then now getting to sit in her classes, someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
You already have seen their work, and also getting the opportunity now to collaborate on sub projects even after the program was done. That was really, really cool.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Okay, so be assured, perFORM trainers, they know what's up. They're in the industry, they have experience, and they're really going to lead you in the right direction. Okay, how does perFORM support participants in building their network and brand? Oh, that's a good question. How does perFORM support participants in building their network and brand? You can take it from any direction. Maybe, shall I start with you, Roba, into Disi, into Chege? Roba?
Yeah. So, within the program, we had these pipeline events, networking pipeline events, where us as participants had sessions with industry professionals just coming to network, see what they're doing. Also us talking to them with just industry conversations. Again, I can say also the fact that we were attached to different brands. For example, Good Times Africa, Blankets and Wine, was a very upscaling and a high level form of experience, in that by the time you're there, the people you meet, the access, the contacts, the networks that you get from these events that are in the circles of the perform music incubator, for me was exposing in ways that I could not have done without perform. And also just what the name, the fact that I was able to be part of this production, really did everything to my name as and brand as Roba. Yeah, Roba is here.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So it really helps. Like
Yeah.
it sits well in your portfolio.
Yeah, portfolio.
Nice. Miss Disi.
Yes. Yeah, so perFORM for sure gave me a lot of content for my portfolio because of the many projects we got to do at perFORM. And also, I like that Roba mentioned access, because with perFORM, I got to access spaces that probably would have been a bit difficult to access as an individual. So yeah, definitely access for sure.
Yeah, I also remember seeing the publicists working on the media for Blankets and Wine. Do I remember that correctly?
Yes. We also got the chance to work with the team for Blankets and Wine Media as well.
Was that able to build out kind of your networks in the media world? Do you feel that perFORM has it built that for you or with you?
Definitely it helped build more networks, even like with the media runs for
exactly
for EP drops and whatnot. It gave us the chance to actually interact with these media personalities in person, and then also at least keep contacts for after.
Fantastic. Yeah. So you are being able to use those contacts.
To use the contacts after.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Chege.
I think I believe my key network from perFORM is actually these guys, the people who were doing the whole thing together. And now, like, I really know that this is really good at her publicist work. So if I need a publicist, I'm not going to look anywhere. And honestly, she can confirm, like, we have all been working together with alums that we were in the same class. And I feel like that's a really good network of people who know their work, and you're all at the same level in terms of experience and all. So I think these guys are like the really cool networks that we got.
Yeah. That's so sweet.
But it's true. It's true, yeah.
But it's very true.
Yeah. A funny story. Early in the day, we were in an onboarding call for another event, and Chege was there, and I was there. I did not know we were meeting here, so we just met her like, hiya. And just that the beautiful networks that came from perFORM, and how now we are collaborating in different projects, even way past perFORM.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Okay. I want to ask another question that we have received is, what was or is a tangible thing that you left the program with? What was or is a tangible thing that you left the program with? So I'm going to speak on behalf of artists because I did the artist program. So I left with several tangible things. Number one is an EP that has several songs. Another tangible thing that I left with is some music videos. I left with a brand strategy that I'm still actually applying, and that's actually the basis for the stuff that I'll be doing moving forward. Another tangible thing I left with was networks. So the people that we were in cohort together, the other artists and the other people that we were in the cohort. So I have a network of folks that I can ask to support me or to work with me, or we can build a project together. That's a tangible thing that I left the program with. And another tangible thing I would say I left the program with is like a way to think about music enterprise as an artist, and that's not something that I think I had really deeply before I did perFORM. So that for me is something that I left with as a tangible. So maybe Disi, we can start with you. What did you live or have you left the program with as a tangible, as a publicist?
Okay. One thing for sure, the networks. Yeah, we can go all day about that, but the networks for sure. And then number 2, I believe I left with a more attractive portfolio because we got to do a lot of things. So all these things just look very attractive to potential people who'd like to work with me as a publicist. And then also, apart from working on the artists' brand strategies, we also worked on our own brand strategies as professionals. So that was also eye-opening. And I have my vision straight right now, I'd say also. So yeah, those 3 for sure.
Nice.
And many other things.
Of
But
course.
those 3, yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Especially on as a professional, at a professional level because of the enterprise training. So now you think of yourself as a business.
As a business, yes.
And I think that's really powerful. Roba, some tangible things or thing.
Yeah, one I'd say a community, because before perform I used to feel alone just alone as an event producer. But after perform, I have a community where there's no day that pass where I've not contacted any of the event producers or the publicists or managers, because there's always a project, there's always something to work on. And right now, I don't have to figure it alone. I have a community where we can just ask about this, or like, yo, can you come? Let's work on this together. Can we come? And for me, it was such a highlight. And also another tangible thing was a standard of measure. I think after perform, you now know, this is the standards of how things are supposed to do. This is how things are supposed to be. And this is how the practice should actually be. And I feel that having a standard of measure or an experience of how the thing behind the thing or the thing should be, and now a community that affirms and that you can move with, is one of them. It's very tangible. And of course, a certificate.
Of course, a certificate. I love it. Chege, tangible things that you left the program with.
Mine is the knowledge. I don't think I can go deeper into how that is impactful for a creative in the industry. Because I feel like before perform, I was very passionate about being a talent manager, but didn't have the technical skill set of how to do it. And prior, I was doing like a lot of proposals, sending them everywhere. But when we got to learn about the brand and how to implement, we were actually fortunate enough to win a grant while in the program that we collaborated with Disi and Roba. Yeah, so the technical know-how is really life-changing, honestly. Yeah.
I felt the same way after we did the brand strat. That was definitely life-changing. I was like, what have I been doing? This is what's meant to have been happening all along, right? Yeah, I think that was really great. There's a question we have. What makes perFORM unique compared to other programs in the region? Well, I'll take this on behalf of the program. I'd say there's many things that makes perFORM really unique. The first thing is it was built by industry insiders, and it really speaks to the aspiration within the industry and the lived reality within the industry. So it's very practical, it's very tied to real life outcomes, and it's also very tied to building your skill set, So I think that's the thing that's really makes us distinguish. Another thing is also the way we deliver the program. We really look to develop both the artistic skill set and then the entrepreneurial skill set, because we really recognize that a lot of people, whether it's publicists or event producers, managers, a lot of us are really DIY entrepreneurs. We're basically entrepreneurs. We may also work on people's projects, and in that way we can be consultants, but a lot of us run our own businesses or our own things. So really building those two skill sets at the same time and making everybody think about the entrepreneurial part of the program. I think that's something really unique. I think another thing that's really unique is the balance, between classwork, creative work, real life outcomes. I think that's a thing that's quite unique about our program. I think the effort that is spent on building networks, for us, it's really important to build networks for participants and building an alumni that is useful for participants post the program. I think those are some things that make perFORM unique. I would also say the selection, there's a very rigorous selection. So the people who join the cohort, for real, akuna laggards.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know how you guys feel. Yeah, akuna laggards.
Yeah.
So it makes class interesting because even the people you're in class with are people that you can directly, that peer-to-peer network is really, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything you think I'd left out that made perFORM unique for you guys. I wonder.
Maybe I'll say this boldly. I think perFORM is the only program of this kind in the region. Yeah.
Flips hair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's really cool. And especially the pressure that is put on you to produce the real life
Yeah.
outcomes. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
Can't get that.
you can't mess around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you mess around, then you eat the results of your
Ooh,
messing
yes.
around. So, and you have to live with those consequences. I
Yeah.
think that's a really important thing. I don't know if something else you'd think that I've missed, maybe.
Yeah, just that, and also just like the depth of the work. And also, if you look at last year, we basically spent the whole year
Yeah.
creating, cooking, building. Yeah. So like, I don't think any other program gives you that whole time to work on a specific thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To add on that is the intentionality of the program
true,
from
true.
the mentors, the trainers, from the guys in the program, from the work that we're getting to do and output. I feel like perFORM is there to build the Kenya music industry, to take it to like very, very professional level.
Yeah.
That really sets it apart.
Nice. Join perFORM. Mumesikia. Asanti. Apply. That's a good question. Are there performance opportunities or showcases during the program? That's a capital yes. It is required of each cohort to actually have the performance opportunities and or showcases. And maybe I'll let the alums talk a little bit about their experience around this thing, the performance opportunities, the showcases. So whether it was like the activations or the actual showcase. Yeah, maybe you can talk about your experience with those.
I'd
Maybe
say
we can start with Chege. And short notice, Roba is like,
when it comes to the performances, my really cool element was you're actually working with a real artist who is putting out music there.
Yeah.
So you're getting inquiries, you're going to look for gigs for them to perform. So besides the final showcase that happens after the program, you're also actually doing work and making money.
Yeah.
So,
that's an actual unique factor.
Yes.
Yeah, the actual making money.
Yeah.
You are, as a participant, you're part of that money
Yeah.
that is made. That's
For
what's
sure.
up.
yeah.
Roba?
Yeah. So like immediately the artists release music. There are activations like club appearances, which also act as an performance opportunities. We also had in-house networking events where also we had to perform some of the music just to see the reaction or the response that we could get. Artists also get booked to other gigs. So because when you're an artist, you're attached to a whole like cycle of an artist. So there's a publicist, you have your own event producer, you have your manager. So as the event producer, you can act there as the road manager, but as an artist, performing artist, that's also an opportunity. And now showcases. We organize so many wonderful, beautiful showcases, all on the YouTube page, perFORM Music Incubator Showcase. And from an event producer perspective, yes, you do get busy now organizing the answers to that question.
Disi?
Okay. So actually, I just noticed it's interesting that we were part of the same group. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh, cute, you were in the same group. Yeah.
And so as a publicist for all the appearances and the events, of course, it was a lot of how do we communicate this on social media? So that was a lot of strategy, coming up with content plans, finding who's the best photographer to work for these photos, who will shoot this event, who will photograph this event, things like that. So yeah, it was very hands-on, even for the concerts as well. As a publicist, we came in by, you have a whole media strategy. Which influencers can we work with for this event to make it pop on socials? Who can we engage to push? Yeah, so yeah, it's very hands-on for everyone.
Nice. Yeah. So the performance opportunities are there and everybody gets to collaborate on that.
Yes.
What's the vibe during the program? Is it intense, collaborative, or what's the vibe? So I'm going to answer on the program side.
Yeah.
There's a real seriousness. It's for real. I don't know. It feels like a master's program. For me, that's how it felt. Like it didn't feel like vibes. It felt like it's real school. It's real learning. You actually have to show up. You have to do the assignments. You have to do some extra reading. You have to talk to people in cohort to understand stuff. You think a lot. And because there's some real life, outcomes, there's it's not I don't know, what can I say? It's not a waste of time. You're not just doing something to just like when I think in my artist career, that time that I've spent at perFORM has been so instrumental in helping me learn how to think correctly. So there's a real seriousness to it. But there's another side, which is fun. Now, when you're creating, the creating part is really, it's really fun. Sometimes it was difficult because you're like from the songwriting classes we did with all these, master songwriters, you're applying the thing that you have learned. And there's a chunk of unlearning that you need to do. So sometimes I found myself, having like little frustrations. But overall, the creating process was really a lot of fun. Making the videos was really a lot of fun because as an artist, I just had to show up, and a team that was working with me. So I didn't have the stress that I usually would have putting everything, the logistics together. It's like, that's what the other participants who are in my team were actually doing. And me, I needed to do my job, which is to be an artist, show up and bring my best. So I would say it's a combination of things. I don't know how you felt, Roba.
Yeah, I think one of the first words that come from one of the HODs used to say that deadlines are not suggestions.
Yes.
I remember you'll just hear that deadlines and you just know things are fire, things are hot. And it really talks about how the program was. You really had to do your work, otherwise it will show. Because your work is an actual output there. And not only does it affect you, it affects the people in your team. As Disi said, we're in the same team. So if I, as an event producer, have not put out a good event or put my artist up for a good event, the publicist will have to explain, why was this artist in this event that was not for them? The manager has a lot of managing to do about that, and even the artists themselves. So when you do not do your job, when you do not meet the deadlines, and that's the vibe. It's like getting to school and getting a job at the same time. I think that's the vibe that I will describe it.
Yeah.
And the best part of it, now you get to now have networks afterwards, or people that you can now work with afterwards, and which now friendships are formed from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Disi, how did it feel? What's the vibe?
The vibe at perFORM is great. It's just as you said, it's you're coming to school. You report at 9, you leave at 5 or 4.
Yeah,
yeah,
4, I think.
yes. You use, like, if it's a dedicated day for class, the whole day I am spending the time in class with the facilitators, with my group members, like that. So so it was very, what you're doing here, you're studying. And also I would say that it was not all work and no play, because the brainstorming sessions were very crazy and you'd hear amazing ideas from everyone in the team or in the whole class. And also I think something that I appreciate about perFORM is the teamwork. So the teamwork approach to everything and the collaborative approach to everything. So it helps you get your creative discipline right. Yeah, because you come here and now you have to learn how to manage your time. You have to learn how to work with teammates. You can't work alone because you're making decisions for someone else. So you can't just be the one to wake up and decide. So fun with enough work.
Fun with enough work.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chege. An artist is actually relying on you.
Now that's where the work comes in. That's where the work comes in.
Yeah.
What I liked about is the collaborative effort that we had as a group, as participants. us as managers would have like our own barazas of now, how can we make things work or how can we make it move? Come back to our team publicist, now advice. Like it was work, but the work was a bit fun because also it's like peers. So like, it's very conversational. It was really nice.
Yeah.
It was fun and collaborative, I'd
It's fun and
say.
collaborative.
Yeah. And also to add, I like that perform allowed us to attend the classes of the different discipline. For example, I'm an events producer, but I will attend a publicist class or I will attend a manager's class, meaning you have a 360 view and understanding of the industry, and not like, oh, me, I'm just doing events production and I'm just learning events.
Right.
So courtesy of perform, I was able to learn things about other fields that I will not necessarily not be able to learn in any other way. And I really loved that fact. Yeah.
And also to add on to that, like also it was interesting finding out like there's work coming up and people are like, no, that's a manager's job. And others are like, no, that's a publicist's job. And you're like, no, that's an events planner's job. So it was very interesting to like also see, oh, there are some roles that you might be putting on the wrong person. That's why you're not getting results.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
And how a topic, let's say like branding, how a branding translates to a publicist, how branding translates to an event production, how branding translates to a manager. Yeah, only in perform.
Just to add on Roba's point is, in early days of an artist manager, in most cases, you are all the departments, honestly. In most cases, you're the talent manager, event organizer, publicist, sometimes sponsor, therapist. And when you're able to like get to be in all of those classes and your artist gets to that level, then you know what you're looking for in a publicist. You're not, it's not a blind hire. You know what you're looking for in an events organizer.
I suppose now you also know what you're looking for in an artist. If an artist is like, let's work
That is
together.
a key element.
Now
Yes.
you know what your clients should be. You know as Disi what kind of a client, I guess.
You really want to
Robert was saying
collaborate.
about standards, you know the kind of gig that it makes sense to take this gig or not to make. Okay, I like that. Our last question. If you had to describe perform in 3 words, what would they be? What? If you had to describe perform in 3 words, what would they be? Me, I would say it's enlightening. It's game changing. And it's real. It's for real. It's for real. It's for real. It's not just like some NGO training. I don't know how to say it. You know what I mean? It's for real. Like, oh yeah, this is what people go to school to learn. It's for real. Me, that's how I describe it. Who's ready with their 3 words?
Okay.
It's legit.
It's legit.
You get a certificate, a paper to show that actually you know this shit.
It's true. It's
You're not
legit,
just guessing
Indeed,
things there.
Indeed.
It's legit. It's fun.
It's fun.
Working with peers. Real life outcomes. Really fun. And it's work. Like you have to do the work.
Yeah.
It's immersive. Because you're not just imagining or in class as a theory. You are immersed and actually thrown deep into what you are learning in class. It's elevating because for real, where we started in perform 1, 2, and here, there's so much different, and it's catapulting. Is it fair?
Fair.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yes.
Okay, for me, it's practical. It's collaborative, big thing. And lastly, I'd say it's essential.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it for the Perform Music Incubator Q&A. Thank you so much to our wonderful alums for being so honest and sharing your experience. Please, if you're an artist of any kind, a musician, a songwriter, a music producer, if you're an event producer, if you're an artist manager, if you want to work in music publicity, if you're a sound engineer, if you're a light engineer, Perform Music Incubator is the program for you. Don't overthink. Apply. See you later.